Yo guys, welcome back to another video. In this video we'll be adding an enemy to our game, so that's pretty good. So what we need to do first is we need to add our enemy sprite. So we need to add a box collider, of course, and a rigid body 2D, and freezer Z rotation unless you want him to turn in a circular motion like that. Yep, and if you guys want, you can add some animations. I'm going to do that not on camera because in my last video you've seen I've shown how to do animations. I don't need to show it again. You get the gist. So what we can do is rename him to enemy and add the tag enemy to him. If you guys need to add a tag, literally just press add tag and make a new one called enemy. And what we want to do is create a new script called enemy script or enemy controller. Like that. Create an ad, and then what we want to do is open that up in Visual Studio. So first thing we need to do is add some variables. So the first one I'm going to add is a float called speed. The second is going to be a ball called moving right, and set that equal to true. And then our last one we need is a transform called ground detection. Okay. Is that how you spell detection? Detection. Yeah, I believe it is. Anyway, right. So next, what we're going to do we want to make a void update function. And in this, what we're going to do is type translate, and then in parentheses vector2.write times that by negative speed. Well, right, this really does depend on your guys' character. So if you see, my character originally is facing left, so I need to times it by minus speed so that he starts going to the left. However, if your guys' character is facing right, just do normal speed, don't do minus speed. So times it by minus speed, and then times that by time dot delta time. Okay. Next, what we want to do is we want to make a raycast. So we need to type raycast, hit 2D, and call that ground info, and set that equal to physics 2D dot raycast, and then we want to put in our transform of what our raycast is, and then dot position, so we have the position of the object, and then what direction, which we want is down because we want to see if there's any ground below it, and then the length of the raycast, which I'm going to set as 2f, whatever you guys want to set it as, you could do that. If you don't set a value, it will just be infinite, basically. So next, we're going to make an if statement called check in if ground info dot collider is equal to false, and in this if statement we'll make another if statement checking if moving right is true. So in this moving right thing, we want to type transformed at Euler angles. So but basically, when he's moving right, he'll be facing right. When he's moving left, he'll be facing left. Basically, yeah. And then he flips direction when there's no floor below it. so it's like patrolling an area. So we want to set that to equal new vector 3, and then the values that we want it to rotate by. So we don't want to rotate around the x or the z value, so just set that to 0. However, we want to rotate it about the right y-axis, so we completely flip it 180 degrees. And then we set moving right equal to false. So, and then below this if statement, we're going to write else. And in this, we want to pretty much copy and paste this bit, set this bit to true, and then set the y rotation back to 0. So once we've done that, go back into Unity, press play, and let's test it. So, oh yes, sorry, I forgot a part. We haven't added any speeds, so we need to add a value of speeds to the enemy. And we want to make an empty object called ground detection. Okay, and then if we click here, we can add a little icon to it, which is actually pretty cool. Basically move this to near the ground in front of our enemy, child it to the enemy, and then drag this into the transform section, like that. So now, when we click play, you'll see that our enemy starts patrolling the area. Simple. Okay, so next we want to do, we want to have a way to kill the enemy, if you know what I mean. So if we stop that and edit the box collider of our enemy so that this is lower, we want to add an empty object to the enemy called the head. Just call it head, I guess. Add a box collider 2D, and we want to tag. You want to tag this enemy head, for example. Boom. So tag that to that, and then edit the box collider so that it is on the head of the enemy, just like that. Okay. Next, we're going to go into our controller scripts that we've already made in one of the previous videos, and we want to type in our on collision enter 2D void thing function. Yep. Let's make another if statement saying if other dot game objects dot tag is equal to whatever you set it. So ours is enemy head. Oh, sorry, I just realised I'm not. There you go. To enemy head, like that. Enemy. So I forgot the quotations there. Yeah, we want to destroy, and then in parentheses other dot game objects, and then close it off with a semicolon. Save that, and now if you press play and we try to jump on the enemy, it doesn't do anything basically. So what was wrong there was basically for some reason the code wasn't running, and I don't know, maybe I typed in I spelled the tag wrong or whatever, but basically I just renamed the tag and changed it to a trigger. So what that means is basically when when a character enters where the like box collider would be, it doesn't collide with it. Instead, it's sort of phases through it instead and doesn't touch anything, but it triggers an event that I've chosen to happen. So I've chosen it to destroy the enemy, to the parent of the trigger, which is the enemy. So it'll destroy the enemy when I enter that little box. So I'll just show you guys what's happened. So when we jump on them, it just kills them, basically. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I apologise, there was a little bit of I guess things that went wrong, but we fixed them. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, comment down below on what you guys want to see next, what you guys enjoyed, what you don't like, how I can improve, all that. But peace.